been so long since I've seen you guys. I haven't done many of these recordings in a while. So it's good to be here for sure. And obviously I'm in the EiKO room too. So you are joining me for Q2 2023 product training. Believe it or not, we have had a tremendous amount of products launching this year. As you can see, out of all of those, almost all of those on the left-hand side, maybe not quite, but pretty close to all of them are all the ones we're going to be talking about in today's training. This is recorded, so in case I talk too fast, I'm known to do that. You can always go back and listen to the recording at your leisure. You can also share this with others if you choose to. At the end of the meeting, I will be sure to send this out. Also, you can use the Q&A at any time that you want, and we'll also have a few poll questions, not a ton, but a few of them. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, I want to talk a little bit about Controls Ready. Now, I have been talking about Controls Ready for quite some time, but I think it's really important just to remind everybody of what that means. And especially since a lot of our products I'm going to be talking about are either Controls Ready, or I'll be talking about the sensors that go onto those Control Ready products. So little reminder, if it's a Controls Ready product, that means it can easily accept standalone or network lighting controls without the need for any wiring. And that also means that electrician is also not necessarily required either, which is kind of a nice little savings. Now, Control Ready products, for the most part, can take either standalone controls or they can take network lighting controls. Now, specifically for today, we're actually going to get started by talking about two Z10 standalone controls specifically. So again, there is a difference between standalone and network. Right now, we're going to talk about standalone. This is what the little two products look like. You can see them on my screen. I also have them held up in my hands right here. And these are both Z10, as you can see by the little ends here, the little receptacles. Now, one of them uses PIR, passive infrared technology, to sense motion. The other one is microwave, and that's what this one looks like here. So this one here detects sensing or people walking through microwave sensing technology. So just as a little bit of a reminder, the difference between the two is that a microwave motion detector uses microwaves to continuously send out these high radio frequency waves, and it looks basically for shifts. What's nice about microwave, it does not require line of sight. It does have a little bit quicker response time, and it also responds to any type of movement. So keep in mind, if you're planning on putting a microwave sensor out by a tree, for instance, or trees, it's probably not a very good idea to do that. The next one, the PIR, specifically detects heat using radiation, basically. So it's infrared radiation, and it looks for changes in temperature from the environment and moving things. So that's basically the difference between PIR and microwave. Now, there are other types of technologies. For the most part, I don't see a lot of these in our industry as much as I used to. So for the most part, today and in the future, we here at EiKO are going to be focusing on PIR and microwave. So I've got a couple questions that came through. We can hear you, but chat is disabled. I forgot to keep that chat going. All right, so why do the new Z10 sensors require the adapters? I will get to that in just a second, Brett, and I'm glad you asked, and I will show you a little thing on that. So at any rate, the two standalone sensors, again, are going to be either PIR or microwave. Make sure you look at the situation and then determine which one's the best. So I'm going to give you a little brief little thing that I had to go through. So I had a friend of mine that decided that he was going to put in this awesome shop. And so I sold him his LLHE high bay fixtures for his shop. And one of them, he wanted to have constant power on that one fixture at all times. But if nobody was in the space, he wanted it to dim down to about 10%. And so the way that they installed those fixtures was they put like 9 of them on an on-off switch, and this one fixture they decided to keep constant power to. So I hooked them up. Yes, I did. I programmed this little microwave sensor and I gave it to him, and I said, hey, all you gotta do is just pop that right onto that LLHE fixture that you have, and you should be in good shape. He calls me back about 2 weeks later and he says, Lynette, the little red light keeps going on and off, and it never, ever dims down like it's supposed to. And I kind of shook my head and I scratched my head and I said, well, what's the problem, I wonder? And I said, do you by chance have ceiling fans that are in that space? He's like, yeah, I got ceiling fans. They run all the time. I never shut them off. Well, guess what? Those ceiling fans were setting off that microwave sensor. So just remember, always, 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 if you have any type of movement, whether it's the fixture movement or like a ceiling fan, this little guy is going to go off all the time. So my solution was, hey, I'll go ahead and have you unplug that one and I'll give you this PIR one instead. And ever since, it's been working perfectly. So just a quick little story to kind of keep you guys in the back of your mind. Don't have it happen to you. All right. So when you look at these two new Z10 sensors, and again, these are standalone sensors. It used to be back in the day that you would have to specify a photocell sensor. And keep in mind, a photocell, simply you put it in outside, and when there's not enough light from the natural daylight, the fixtures turn on. And when there is sufficient daylight, the fixtures turn off. It's called a photocell. I know many of you are familiar with that. That type of technology is actually referred to now as something called ambient. So if you ever hear the word ambient, think photocell with a few more bells and whistles. But for the most part, a photocell, back in the day, photocell is very much similar to ambient type of system. So nowadays, now fast forward to today, you have one sensor that has ambient. It also includes daylight harvesting, because back in the day, you used to have a sensor for daylight harvesting. You used to also have to have a sensor for occupancy sensing. Well, now one sensor actually does it all. So one sensor, either one of these two, either the PIR or the microwave, doesn't matter. One sensor gives you dual ambient and daylight sensing technology. So that means you've got daylight harvesting, you have occupancy sensing, you have photocell, aka ambient or just basic photocell dusted on. You have two-stage dimming / midnight dimming, which basically means if the sensor turns on at say 6 p.m., it will stay on until like another 6 hours. Okay, so it'll go off at midnight. And that is called two-stage dimming or midnight dimming. So one sensor does everything you want it to do. The only slight little thing is that you have to use the commissioning tool. This is the old one. I accidentally grabbed the old one. Anyways, there's a new commissioning tool. I didn't even know I had this one yet. But there is a new commissioning tool that you would use to program these based on whether or not you want daylight harvesting, occupancy sensing, photocell, two-stage dimming, or whatever. And I'll get into more details about that here in just a second. Now, Brett, as far as your question goes, these particular sensors right here do have a Z10 twist lock design. So they are going to be able to easily twist lock into any fixture that has a Z10 receptacle. Now, our Z10 fixtures that have receptacles such as a Z10 are getting to be a little bit few and far between. So obviously you guys know the LLHE is going away. The VERT is also going away. The SES is still here and the SIG is still here. Those are the only fixtures today that have a Z10 receptacle. All of our new fixtures feature a screw-in design. So that is what this compact LHC fixture does. So you would actually have to get an adapter to be able to screw this into that receptacle and then plug that in. So that's the reason why you need this adapter that looks exactly like the one that you see on my screen right now. All right. So that is the reason why we need it. Now, I realize in time, probably sometimes next year, that adapter probably will not be needed any longer. We obviously have a lot of inventory on the Z10 receptacle. We wanted to deplete that inventory before going to just a typical screw-in type of receptacle on the sensor. Give it some time. You will not need the adapter any longer, but right now you do. So if you have a screw-in receptacle and you want to use a standalone microwave or PIR, you have to use the adapter in order to convert it to a Z10 twist lock. Okay. Now, when you look at these two sensors, they are very much the same. I already explained the difference. One of them is the fact that one's PIR, one's microwave. Otherwise, you know, they both are IP65. Of course, one is better for trees and outdoor applications, and the PIR and the microwave is better for where there's not a lot of movement. So that's the other thing to kind of consider, determining which one you want. Also, you might want to just direct your attention to the sensor detection pattern, which can be found on the website under the appropriate product when you go into the product on the website. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. So in summary, both of these sensors are designed for use with fixtures that have a Z10 receptacle or that have a screw-in receptacle, but you got to use the adapter. Both of these are IP65. Again, you have to choose whether or not you want PIR or microwave. And again, both of these are Z10, a Z10 receptacle. Okay. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much all the same. They both have that dual ambient and also occupancy sensing. You can also do field adjustable settings such as brightness, which is AKA your high-end trim. You also can set your dim level. You can set your sensitivity. You can set your hold time. You can set your dim time. You can do all of those things for the standalone controls by utilizing the commissioning tool. This is what the new commissioning tool looks like. It is backwards compatible to our previous sensors and fixtures that use the old remote control, this old one right here. The new remote control is a little bit more user-friendly. That's just some details, as you can see on my screen. As far as, it does take batteries, for instance. And then also what's kind of nice about this particular commissioning tool is that there are 4 pre-programmed modes. Those 4 pre-programmed modes can be found on your screen right here. And that way, if your customer likes one of those pre-planned, modes that's already in the remote control, all they gotta do is just hit the button. And at that point, they would walk around and they would come by to each sensor and they would program each sensor one by one. Okay. And each one of these sensors are going to act individually. This is 100% not a network lighting control system. So every one of these sensors needs to be programmed and commissioned using the commissioning tool, and they're all going to act independently from one another as you're walking in the space. So no grouping, no zoning, none of that kind of stuff. Now, this is probably the most important thing to walk away with, all right? When you go out to EiKO.com and you go to the product page for the remote, the commissioning tool, you are going to find a spot where you can click on the, I think it's called instruction sheet or install sheet, something like that. Anyway, it is going to bring you to a PDF that looks exactly like what you see on my screen. This will give you every single type of setting that you would ever want to set. So instead of grabbing the remote, like many of you probably would, and start pushing buttons, just look at this document. It will tell you exactly how to program it based on whether or not you want daylight harvesting, if you want it to act as a photo cell, if you want it to act as a occupancy sensor, whatever. It's all right there. So definitely go back to that and take a look at it. Now, also because this does have that dual ambient threshold, no longer does it matter if you use the microwave or the PIR. When you put it under a fixture, I know you can't totally see this fixture, but if you were to mount this right under where that natural light is coming out of the fixture, that is no more an issue. So the days of having to get a twist lock NEMA cell or NEMA plug on the top of the fixture are kind of over. You don't really need that because now you can go with either one of these two, program it appropriately, and you can stick it right underneath where that natural light comes out, and you are going to be in perfect shape. So I know there was some questions that came through, and I will answer those in just a second. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and launch my first poll question to you guys. And you should be seeing that on your screen. So I will let you guys do that while I'm looking through the QA. All right. Good question. Yeah. I think I answered your question, Ben, as I was talking. Okay. I can't believe we got this many that are answering this way. Is anybody changing their answer? All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll, and I'm going to share the results. It could be how I asked the question. So all standalone and network lighting controls require the commissioning tool to commission the sensors. That is not true. That is absolutely 100% false. So if you answered false, you are right. All standalone lighting controls require the commissioning tool. All network lighting controls require an app on your phone or your tablet or whatever that is an iPad app or an iOS app. So out of the gate, you guys didn't do so well, but we'll get better for sure. But I'm glad I asked the question because now you guys know any type of standalone control solution, standalone only, requires the commissioning tool to commission the sensors. Now, also keep in mind, your contractor, or if you're a contractor that's on the call, you can buy one of these remote controls and you can keep it in the truck and you can program a lot of projects. If you lose it, don't worry about it. Just buy another one. So it's not tied to the project and you can use it to commission a number of jobs. Also, there was one question that came across on the Q&A, and I think I addressed it towards the end, which is it used to be where you could not put a standalone, either one of these standalone controls underneath the fixture because the natural light from the fixture would set it off. Because these have different technologies embedded in them, and because they have that dual ambient daylight harvesting setup, whatever it's called, you can now use these right under the artificial light and it will be just fine. All right, so there is that one. If I didn't answer all your questions, just let me know. All right. All right, moving on. Any questions about that? I know I spent a lot of time on standalone controls, but really we made it easy. There are two, PIR or microwave, and then use the commissioning tool to program it exactly how you want. You can't get any easier than that. And number two is if you have a screw-in design, just don't forget the adapter for right now. So super simple, super easy. All right. Okay, I'm going to move on. All right, so next up we have, all right, a long awaited for LED HID filament replacement HID lamps. I think I said that backwards, but whatever. They are available in the E26 Classic base, and they are also available in the EX39 base. They offer in two different shapes, ED23.5 and ED28. Now, these, of course, are ballast bypass, so you've got to make sure that you either disconnect or remove the ballast. There are two SKUs, as you see on my screen, that are damp location, and there are about 4 of them that are going to be wet location. These are clear glass lamps. They provide that omnidirectional light output, and these right now can replace up to 175 watts HID. I do believe we are looking at adding a few more SKUs. Unfortunately, none of them are 347 volt at this time. I've got a couple PMs on the call, and they can certainly write down that note to get back to you if we decide to bring them out in 347 volt. All right, and then no 347 coming. Wah, wah, wah. Daniel, you got to be so rude. All right, but 5,000 Kelvin is, I knew there was something coming. Thank you very much. When will the filament HID pricing be on the portal? If you mean the website, they should already be on there. And if you're not seeing it, then you probably want to reach out to, in your case, Greg Coburg, to find out what's going on with that. But all the pricing should be all loaded and ready to go. So if you're not seeing something, let us know. But they should all be there. Or unless yeah, we launched those already. Yeah, so we're having this call. So yeah, the pricing should all be there. If you're having problems, let us know. Okay. It's on the site. Yep. Pricing is on the US. Okay, so we might have to come back to that. All right, so Daniel, if you don't mind, maybe just keeping a note out for that and finding out why we don't show the Canadian pricing. So we'll come back to that. A few more details on this lamp that you guys might want to be aware of is these are great for post tops. They're also really good for low bays. They are also wonderful for a bunch of other applications where you want to kind of go with that fancier sort of look to show off the aesthetics of the lamp. Now, since these are a type B lamp, they do operate on 120 to 277 volts. And yes, there is no discussion on 347 volt, as we just learned. They do come in at a whopping 167 lumens per watt. Now, the wattage options are 28, 36, and 45 watts. Lumens range from 4,000 Kelvin to 7,500. Then they do have a fixed CCT of either 3,000 or 4,000 Kelvin. The key features are that it fits in many traditional HID fixtures, since this offers both in the E23.5 and also the E28 shape. It also gives you that same sort of look as a traditional HID. It is ballast bypass. You no longer need to have to worry about maintaining a ballast, which is also a nice little feature. It does have 4K surge protection included. These are not suitable for use with dimmers. Again, I already mentioned they have that omnidirectional light output, universal installation, which means you can mount them up, down, sideways, whatever you want to do. They are slightly smaller than a traditional HID lamp. Keeping in mind the ambient operating temperature. I know a lot of people will ask me, can you put this in an enclosed fixture? Well, the key is I don't care if it's an enclosed fixture, but if inside that fixture, it gets hotter than 113 degrees Fahrenheit, well, then I think you just answered your question. So make sure you kind of pay attention to, you know, how enclosed that fixture is, making sure that, you know, if you think it's going to get hotter than 113 degrees Fahrenheit, you probably want to choose something different. As far as certifications go, you've got UL listed for US and Canada, FCC, RoHS, ICES 005 compliant, damp location rated for the E26 bases, wet location for the EX39, and these do come with a 3-year warranty as well. Any questions before I move on? Oop, as soon as I said it, you guys jumped in. All right, good. Okay, so there seems to be there's pricing in there as well for Canada. So I guess we can circle back up, guys. If you still need help with getting the pricing for Canada, you guys just let me know and we'll take care of you. Okay, so the next one that we are going to talk about is the CST1 commercial strip. Now, this one is available in 4 or 8 foot. It does have a white power coated housing. It does also have a diffused polycarbonate lens. And of course, it also replaces our previous STR. And if you're familiar with the premise CS3, it's also going to be replacing that one as well. Now, as you can see from the model configurator, it is available in fixed wattage and fixed CCT. This is going to be more of your contractor grade, what we refer to as a base SKU. So pretty much static CCT, static wattage, 4 foot, 8 foot, very, very simple, right? We can do a few fixture mods. Like for instance, I had this one modified to add a cord to it. You can also add different ends through our fixture modification program if you want. As far as accessories go, you can have a couple different accessories, surface mount alignment plate for continuous mounting, suspended mounting alignment plate, and also aircraft cable. These are also compatible with 3 internal battery backups. These, of course, can also be found on the spec sheet, by the way. All this information that you see on any of these slides is on the spec sheet. And these are also compatible with a couple of field installed standalone or network lighting controls, which I'll talk about. Now, the one thing that I just want to mention before I move to the next screen, you see this little elbow looking thing right here, okay? That is not included in the fixture. That is something that I added after the fact. It's actually, it converts the fixture to be able to accept a Z10 twist lock solution. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'll talk about it more in a second, but in case you're seeing this thing, it does not come with this little elbow, just for you guys to know that. All right, so this fixture is really great for a lot of commercial and industrial applications, as well as various storage and back of house areas. As I mentioned, it is 120 to 277 right now. It does come in 130 lumens per watt. The 4 foot's about 32 watts and the 8 foot is about 64 watts. It does come up to about 8,300 lumens roughly. And again, your fixed CCT of 4,000 or 5,000. The key features is it includes this push button design. So what happens is that you can maybe kind of see the push buttons here. So when I go to mount it, all I got to do is push those buttons in on each side and it drops down. The little safety cables are already attached to the fixture. So that way, all you have to do is just mount it and then you snap it back together to make your make the fixture all back into one. So that is a push button release. Also, it does have an optional alignment plate. And basically the reason that you use that is it just makes row mounting connection a little bit easier. These are available also in both surface or suspension mount. You can also purchase a separate accessory, which would be an aircraft cable in case you want to do like an aircraft suspended mount. Otherwise, V-hooks are included in the box. If you need those, those are already included. And since the fixture is also fairly narrow, we also include a junction box cover plate that's white that also covers up that little existing J box as well. Now, As far as controls go, like I said, if you wanted to add this little elbow, you certainly can. That would be a separate accessory. And then once you do that, you can then add in whatever Z10 twist lock, standalone or network lighting control solution that you want. So that's kind of an easy way. It does require a little bit of wiring, but for the most part, you just buy the little adapter and you wire it up through the existing knockout that's there. Now, this fixture does have 2 kV of surge protection included, 0 to 10 volt dimming with dim to off driver, 120-degree beam angle. There are 2 knockouts on each end. You can kind of see the one that I used and then this other one as well. What else? White power coated steel housing and battery backups options available. Just check out the spec sheet for that. And then these are, like I said, compatible with EiKO standalone controls, or what I almost forgot to talk about is it is also compatible with what we refer to as a behind the lens sensor. I don't have one of these to show you. I had ordered one, but it's not quite in. We call it a behind the lens sensor because it's a little sensor. We actually haven't launched this thing yet. We will here next week, but it's a little sensor. And what happens is that when you open up underneath the lens, well, when you take these 2 things apart, there will be a little white plastic piece. Looks like this right here. Actually, this little guy right here. All right, he comes with the fixture and he's basically right there. You're going to take that off. You're going to buy the behind the lens sensor. You're going to wire it up. There's about 3 wires you have to connect, and you're going to push that sensor through this hole right here. That's how we call it a behind the lens sensor. Now, that is a microwave sensor. So you have options. You can do behind the lens sensor using the little knockout and do your wiring, or you can choose, and again, that's a standalone microwave solution, by the way. The behind the lens sensor is a standalone microwave solution. If you wanted a network lighting control solution or a PIR standalone, you would then instead have to go with the little adapter that is a Z10 receptacle. Hopefully I explained that okay. All right. As far as certifications go, ETL listed for US and Canada, FCC, RoHS, ETL, ICES 005. It is DLC standard. Damp location comes with a 5-year warranty. And as I mentioned, dimmable, and it can accept both standalone and network lighting controls. So before I move on, I think there was a couple of questions. And again, the product managers can speak at any time if there's anything that I did not say correctly as well. With some competition showing 50,000 hours, why are ours 25,000? Ken, are you there?
Yeah, as a German. As a price. 5,000K is for DLC's application, 25 is for us for 3 years. Our price could be less than half of the tier price.
Hey, Ken, I think I'm going to ask you to type that in the Q&A, and I will repeat because you're really, really loud, and I don't think any of us can hear you. So I'm going to mute you, and then go ahead and type in your answer, and I'll say it out loud. Sorry, everybody. It's not in there. I'll check with code. Okay, I can only see the 32 watt and 64 watt. What about 90 watts? So we don't have this product in a 90 watt option, but we do have the CSX1 that will be coming out here very, very soon. The CSX1 is going to give you a 2-foot, a 4-foot, and 8-foot option. And it's also going to give you power set and field set. And we also have some other key features to that CSX1 as well. All right. So hopefully that answered that question.
Also in 347, which answers the
oh yeah. Yep, and Colin's right. Yep, and it will also be available in 347. What options do we have? Oh yeah, so the CSX1 is going to be what you guys want to keep an eye out for sure. All right, so good. And then we will wait for Can to type in his question about the 50,000 hours versus 25,000 hours. It had to do something with DLC, but I couldn't quite make out what he was saying. So we'll come back to him in a second. Okay, so this is what the behind the lens sensor looks like, just so that you guys can get an idea of sort of what it sort of looks like. This is the little one that you would put behind that lens of the ST that I just showed you. It is also able to work on a few other fixtures like the CSX one. So this one here is the standalone. This one here is actually PIR. Did I say microwave? That was my fault. I spoke incorrectly. This is a PIR sensor. It was totally my bad because I think I said microwave. This is a
It's
PIR
microwave,
sensor.
sorry, Lynette.
Oh,
It's microwave.
okay. That's okay. I'm getting confused. I was
You're
like, gosh,
right.
I thought, okay, I was right. I was like, why do I have PIR? I knew one of them wasn't right. Right. Okay. So I wasn't losing my mind. I shouldn't probably look at the screen. I should just probably talk because I know it better, I think. So thank you, Can. We need to update this this slide. So I will do that. All right. So again, guys, I'm so sorry. This is actually a microwave sensor. Totally my bad. So this is a microwave sensor. It's going to go underneath the lens. It is very small. I know the picture might be a little deceiving, but this is a nice little easy way to add a control solution, a standalone control solution. And again, this is just like, I know it's weird to say, it's just like these two other guys, except for that it is microwave, but it features the same stuff. Dual ambient daylight sensing for your daylight harvesting, also occupancy sensing, photocell, two-stage dimming, midnight dimming. And again, it's the same thing. You're just going to use that commissioning tool to program the sensor. So same exact fancy bells and whistles on that device as what's on our other Z10 standalone devices. Same thing. You just have to use the commissioning tool in order to commission it. Okay. So before I move on, we've got a couple, and CSX1 is DLC premium. Yes, I think that CSX1 should be DLC premium if it's not already. I believe that is true. We are going to be going after DLC premium. Yes. Yep. So just so you guys know, the correct part number for this should be CSH. I just got rid of that. Yes. You sent it to me in the chat. Anyways, we'll update this. This part number isn't quite right. It should be this one, SCN5A SHMR. So I think I just copied the picture and I forgot to update the little things that you see right underneath. I can't get to my mouse there, right there. So just kind of keep that in mind. Sorry for that little faux pas. Okay, moving on. Well, wait a second. We got another question. Hang on a minute. Are the network lighting control sensors DLC listed? Yes, they are. They are actually DLC listed through Silvair. So if you go to the DLC website and you look up Silvair, that is who we partner with for all of our network lighting controls. And that is exactly how do we go about getting rebates for fixtures with sensors if they are not. You don't have to worry about it because those network lighting controls are DLC. So if you have more questions on that, you can let me know. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you would add controls. I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but I think it's important to understand just as a kind of a little bit of a next step, I suppose. But when you go to add network lighting controls to these fixtures that have a 1/2-inch knockout, you know, I just wanted to kind of elaborate on this a little bit more because I don't want anybody to be confused. So remember how I said you could just take this adapter and just wire it into this CST fixture. I want you guys to be aware that this isn't something that you can wire into any fixture. In order for this adapter and the sensor that you put on it to work, you need to make sure that the fixture has 0 to 10 volt dimming, that it has dim to off driver, that it also is 12 to 24 volt aux, and it has a minimum 60 milliamp. All right. So a lot of fixtures that's already out there don't have all those things. And that's why there's only a handful of fixtures, as you can see on the screen, that allow you to use this type of adapter to convert a fixture to a Z10 receptacle, allowing you to add standalone or network lighting controls. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's mainly what I wanted to talk about with that particular slide. All right. So next poll question is coming right up. Maybe. Okay, stop sharing. Okay, what's going on here? I can't get my other poll question to pop up. Back. Okay, here we go. Poll question 2, launch. If you want to add a network lighting control solution to the CST1, you need to use what? All right, let's see how we do on this one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. Slightly better than last time, at least. If you want to add a network lighting control solution to the CST1, you need to use what? It's a 1/2-inch knockout adapter. Remember, the behind the lens sensor is only a standalone microwave solution. 1/2-inch knockout adapter gives you the ability to add network lighting controls or a PIR sensor instead. So that's the key takeaway from that one particularly. Okay. Moving on. So the HBX3, I wish I could show it to you. It's hanging right over there. I don't have it down so I can actually physically show it to you, but it is about this big if you can get a visual of what that is. Again, it's the HBX3. This is a premium high bay. Now, I know that I've had a lot of people ask me, well, why do you have this fixture when you also have the Bay E3? And the best answer I can give is that this fixture has a high temp driver option. It's also available in 480 volt. And we are currently going after NSF rating for use in food processing facilities. That is the maximum one you can get. Now, for our agents that are on this call, I know that we have had some conversations about the HBX3 and the NSF, and we talked about how it's NSF for splash zone. Well, what we realized is that we can go and get it certified, hopefully, for use as a full food processing equipment type of NSF rating. So currently we are working on that. So stay tuned for further information on the actual NSF rating of this HBX3. Now, as you can see here by the model configurator, there are 2 fixed wattages and 2 power set options. It's also available in fixed CCT as well as field set. There are multiple voltages. You do have a choice between black, which is the housing that you see here. Otherwise, you do also have white. There's not, just look at the configurator, look at the, on the spec sheet, look at the available models, because we don't offer a ton of options for the white housing. You're kind of limited to the SKUs that you can choose from, but look at the spec sheet for more information on that. This is also 0 to 10 dimming. Now, there are various factory installed cord lengths as well as additional surge protection. As a reminder, again, not all configurations are possible, so be sure to refer to the spec sheet under the available model section for what is truly available. Now, since this does come with a screw and receptacle, there are a number of compatible field installed standalone or network lighting control solutions. It also comes with a mounting hook. That is actually like the hook, not the eye bolt, but the actual hook. I know a lot of people like that for sure. And also the other thing is that it has a pipe adapter and also a yoke mount. There's also a prismatic reflector that works with the cone lens. And there's also an optional aluminum reflector available, as well as a wire guard. Now, we recently did kind of update the accessories slightly. So again, always look at the spec sheet. And actually, when you go out to EiKO.com now, and you look at that product page where you actually see the spec sheets, you're going to start to see the product videos there. You're going to start to see sell sheets there as well, and other things. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. I don't think we have everything loaded quite yet for this one, but it will be coming very soon. Some of the other things is that it is compatible with our newest cylinder battery backup. Let me grab that so you guys can get an idea what that looks like. Hang on one second. The nice thing about being in the EiKO is that I have everything at my fingertips. So this is what that cylinder looks like. The cylinder battery backup looks like. This would hang right directly above the fixture. And then also, by the way, this is what the hook looks like for the for when it actually gets ships with the hook. So that's what that looks like. Just so you see both of those. And then what other, there's a question that just came through. Any plans for hazardous locations? No, there's not. That is really a niche market. So hazardous location is not one of those things that we want to do. Now, before I move to the next slide, did you have something you wanted to add? He took himself off mute for just a second, so I thought maybe he wanted to say something.
No, I just my computer audio have problem. I try with my cell phone.
Okay, not a
That's-
problem.
yeah.
Thanks, Ken.
Mhm.
Okay. So coming up to the little bit more details. This is kind of weird seeing myself here and then it's like there's too much going on right now. Anyway, so this fixture can be used in a warehouse, manufacturing plants, distribution centers, big box retail, service repair centers, and I put down food processing. I should put a little parenthesis behind that and say NSF pending. So that's my little disclosure right there. Also 120 to 277, 120 to 347, 277 to 480. You have 2 fixed wattages of either 150 or 200 watt, as well as 3 power set options with 4 lumen stops. There's also fixed CCT of either 4,000 or 5,000 Kelvin. And you also have the field set option, allowing you to select from either 4,000 or 5,000 upon install. Now, since this fixture is controls ready, you can easily add either standalone or network lighting controls at any time. Installation is also made really easy with the included mounting hook. Let's see. The other thing is that it does come with 10-foot power cord and dimming cord. You do have an optional factory installed high temp driver that allows the HBX to perform in demanding industrial applications where you need to exceed 100, or when you have them exceeding or up to 149. Let me back that up. Let me say that properly. When you have industrial applications up to 149 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 C. Now this fixture is also IP65 rated. It is resistant to corrosion with the NEMA 4X rating. And also some additional features is that it does have 10 kV of surge protection. You do also have the option to add a little bit more surge protection through our factory installation. 0 to 10 volt dimming with dim to off driver. You've got the beam angle of 110 of the one on the 120 and the 277, as well as the 277 to 480. The 120 to 347 volt model is a 90-degree beam. Again, these are available in matte black or white. Power-coated die-cast aluminum housing with impact-resistant polycarbonate lens. Ambient operating temperature is negative 40 F to 122 F or negative 40 C to 50 C. But if you do use that high temp driver, you can go all the way up to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. And then also, as mentioned, it is compatible with EiKO standalone or network lighting controls via that screw and receptacle. And I think I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. Certifications include UL listed for US and Canada, FCC, RoHS, ICES 005 compliant, NSF pending, NEMA 4X, IP65, DLC premium, and also for controls, it is 0 to 10 volt dimming, controls ready for either standalone or network lighting controls. You've also have that field set and power set options, and the warranty on this is 5 years. So let me just give you another little rundown of what it would look like if you were to add a control solution. So in this case, you're going to choose your fixture. All of these happen to have a screw and receptacle, specifically the HBX. If you choose that fixture, you're going to have that little screw and adapter. And then if you're looking at a network lighting control solution, which is, this is not a network lighting control training, but if you were looking at a network lighting control training or network lighting control solution, you would choose your fixture controller or fixture controller with sensor, and then what other components that you might need. So that's how that kind of works. Questions on the HBX3? Okay, I will continue to move on. All right, so here we have EiKO's LH1. The LH1 I actually have hanging. This is the LHC, so it's much more compact. The LH1, which is the one I'm talking about on my screen, is a little bit bigger, probably about that big. Okay, so it's a little bit longer. This is going to replace our LLH series as well as the LHB. It is a power-coated die-cast aluminum housing, very extremely solid, and it's going to resist any type of bowing at all. Now, as you can see from the model configurator, there are a lot of options, ranging from fixed wattage to fixed CCT to power set and field set. These are also available up to 480 volt. They do have 0 to 10 volt dimming. We do offer an IO lens coming at 60 degrees. These can be installed at the factory or field installed. There are various factory installed cord lengths and ends, as well as additional surge protection and battery backup. As a reminder, not all configurations are possible, so just look on the spec sheet for the available models. Now, this fixture is controls ready via that screw-in or receptacle that I showed you earlier. That means you can easily add standalone or network lighting controls. In the box, you do get V-hooks and you do have a number of other field installed accessories, such as, you know, the V-hook and chain, the pendant, the thread rod, surface mount kit. There's a lot of options on how to mount this thing, and those images are all on the website now, so you can check them out. There's also optional wire guard, and I think I said 60-degree angle, beam angle, but I actually think it might be a 65-degree. I'm trying to see. Anyways, who cares? It's between 60 or 65. It's on the spec sheet. And then also, as far as batteries go, these are compatible with 3 external batteries. Now, the way this works is that on the back of the LH1 fixture, when you order a battery backup, you probably it's probably best practice to also order that last little bracket, the 14383. That is actually basically a bracket that sits on the back of the fixture and allows the battery to just sit right on top here. It's kind of a nice little feature. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to do that, you can't use a pendant mount, obviously, because the battery would be in the way of it. I would recommend going to the spec sheet to get more details on different factory options, and we can also even do a factory battery backup on this fixture as well if you want us to. Some other things about this fixture, obviously, can be used in a ton of applications. I think we all know that. 120 to 277. 120 to 347, 277 to 480. By the way, the 120 to 347 volt option, again, 120 to 347 option comes with a 10-foot external cord, no plug. Now, you do have 4 fixed wattages ranging from 90 to 240, as well as 4 power set options, each providing 3 lumen stops. There's also a fixed CCT of either 4,000 or 5,000, or field set allowing you to select 4,000, 5,000 upon install. Again, controls ready. You've heard it enough. I probably don't need to continue to preach it. But this picture here in the center kind of gives you an idea of what those other mounting accessories look like. The battery backups, as I mentioned, are also available. And then also the fact that this comes with the V-hooks and aircraft cables is kind of a nice little added bonus. And then, of course, you can also order the chain, the surface mount pendant kit, the thread mount kit, and all that other good stuff if you want it. It does also have up to 6 kV surge protection included, with up to an additional 20 kV optional, 0 to 10 volt dimming with dim to off driver, 90-degree beam angle with a 65-degree aisle lens option. We can do this for you, or you can do it out in the field. Basically, all you're going to do is you're going to put your fingernail underneath or whatever you have, and you're going to slide out the lens, and then you're going to slide the moving in. That is about as easy as it gets. So that's exactly what that will look like. All right. Where was I at? Factory installed battery backup is available, or field installed. And the operating temperature, again, -40 to 122 F or -40 to 50 C. And it is compatible with our EiKO standalone or network lighting controls. You've got all these wonderful listings and certifications. I won't go into all of them. You can see them on my screen, because we have a lot more to get to. So I will not continue to keep elaborating on that when you've already heard it a million times, right? All right, so we've got poll question number 3. Let me go ahead and launch that. There you go. If you want to add a network lighting control solution or standalone control solution to the LH1 or the HBX3, what do you need? Okay, I'm not going to leave this up too much longer because we are getting down to our 12-minute stop time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. And if you said a screw-in Z10 twist lock adapter, you are absolutely correct. Nice job. Not that you couldn't use the 1/2-inch knockout adapter. You are not wrong. You could use the 1/2-inch knockout adapter if you wanted to, but why would you? It's so much easier just to unscrew the little middle piece and put the other one in. And the behind the lens sensor, you're completely wrong. So sorry. All right. Okay, so we're going to get narrowed down here. I don't think we have too many more slides left. At least I hope not. I've been talking for a while here. All right, so now we're going to move into some wall packs. We've got quite a few that we launched, so it's pretty exciting to talk about these. The first one is the mini wall pack, the MWP1. This is very much the same as a WPC. However, this one has both power sets and it also has field set, as you can see by the little power set, field set feel here. Okay, well, you can see it there and then also up here on the top. Okay, overall, where would you use this fixture in the outdoor application where you want to maybe go above like a little door or something? It is available in 120 to 277 volts, up to 140 lumens per watt. One SKU covers 320 and 50 watt. 30, 20, and 15 watts, as well as 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000 K. This product ships at 5,000 Kelvin, by the way, and the highest wattage as well. So if you get this 30 watts and 5,000 K. And also, unlike the previous version, this goes all the way up to just a little over 4,000 lumens. Key features includes the ability to change your CCT when you go to install it or select your wattage. You can also manage security and safety with the built-in little photo cell right here. You can also disconnect that photo cell by just just unhooking it basically from here. Installation's also made super easy with the 2 knockouts. This is the back plate, by the way. Okay. And yeah, it's just can be mounted with or without junction box as well. All right, 2.5 kV of surge protection, 0 to 10 volt dimming with dim to off driver. It does have an EiKO 08 impact rating, polycarbonate lens, bronze power coated die cast aluminum housing. And there are no battery backups, by the way, on this one as far as controls go. The only thing you really get is the integrated photo cell that you can disable if you want to. Certifications are all your typical ones, UL listed, FCC, RoHS, IP65. This is DLC premium, by the way. And again, it does have power set and field set. If there's any questions, let me know. Next one up is the slim wall pack. That is this guy right behind me. The reason we call it slim is because it doesn't stick out from the wall very far. As a matter of fact, I think it only sticks out about 4.5 inches, and that's from the outside lens to the back of it. This is good because it is still 13.8 inches wide, so it can help cover up markings left behind from previous wall packs that you might be taking off in retrofit situations. Now, as you can see from the model configurator, you've got 2 power set options as well as selectable CCT. You got your options of 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000. This does ship at 5,000 K in the highest wattage setting, and it can replace up to a 400 watt HID. Now, of course, this is great for a lot of applications, especially in those that you don't want the fixture to stick out from the wall very far. It is available in 120 to 277, up to 135 lumens per watt. Power set option featuring 120, 180 watts, or 60, 45, and 30. You do also have field set, which would be 30, 40, or 5,000 K, and up to 16,200 lumens. The key features, as you can probably also see in my little video that's playing. By the way, you can check all these videos out if you go to the product page, find this product, and then go right underneath the image, and there should be a link out to the product video. At any rate, the key features are selectable wattage and CCT. It also has that slim profile. It does also come with an integrated photo cell, which can be easily disabled, or you can also move that little photo cell to a different knockout if you want to as well. There are 4 half-inch knockouts, 1 on each side. There's also a little internal level, and it also comes with a hinge door housing too, which you're going to see in that video here in just a second. You can actually hinge it, take the door off, and that way it makes it a little bit easier for mounting and installation as well. It does have 6 kV of surge protection included, 0 to 10 volt dimming with dim to off driver, bronze power coated die cast aluminum housing with glass lens, by the way, negative 13 to 122 or negative 25 to 50. Ambient operating temperature. Currently, the ambient operating temperature is at negative 13 to negative 25 C or 122F to 50 C. Currently, there are no battery backup options available. And as far as controls go, well, you get the integrated photo cell that you can remove, disconnect, or move to a different knockout if you want. And then these are all of the ratings. Again, DLC is pending. No, it's not. That is not true. DLC is finalized on this, and it is updated on the website and also on the spec sheet. So DLC is not pending, and it is also an IP65 rated fixture. So here's a brand new family that was added, new wall pack that was added. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. This is our full cutoff wall pack. This is the WFC one, available in power set and field set, 120 to 347 volts. Now you're going to see that it has CCT selectable option. And then it also has an option for static 3000K. Now, the reason we have the static 3000K version specifically is for DLC Luna, which is currently pending. And here we go. So this fixture is, again, really ideal for areas where you don't want that light trespass. Any area where you're maybe trying to get DLC Luna, assuming that it gets approved for that, that's a great fixture for that, those applications. It is available in 120 to 347, up to 130 lumens per watt, 70, 60, and 40 watt power set option. And then you also have the fixed CCT of 3000K specifically for when you need Luna. Otherwise, we do have the field set option for 3,000 Kelvin, 4,000, or 5,000. Currently, this one is shipping at 3,000K, just so you know. And then these also will range from lumen output of about 5,850 to about as high as 9,100. Key features are the fact that it does have that selectable CCT and wattage. It mounts directly to a J-box, or there's also multiple mounting options for conduit wiring. There's also that internal level, and it also has that hinge door housing that makes maintenance and installation super easy. The full cut off optics are great for reducing glare, light pollution, and also improves visibility. And it also has that integrated photo cell, just like the other ones, and you can move that to a different knockout or disable it. It also has 4 kV of surge protection, 0 to 10 volt dimming with dim to off driver, bronze power coated die cast aluminum housing, impact resistant polycarbonate lens, and of course the EiKO impact rating. You see the ambient operating temperature. Currently, there are also no battery backups for this one as well. And again, I think the premium in Luna for sure is still pending on this one. Otherwise, that's the rest of the ratings for that. Another wall pack is the TWP one. This is the traditional wall pack. This is basically going to replace any traditional wall pack that you have. It's going to be a little bit bigger size, lots of different options. This is kind of maybe your go-to because it has so many power set options, so many CCT options, as well as a lot of voltage options as well. And it can be used in so many different applications too. So the big key takeaway here is that it does go all the way up to 16,200 lumens. And the fact that it does kind of have that same footprint as your traditional wall packs do. I think a lot of people will like that. This one is the only fixture that is an outdoor wall pack that's rated for 277 to 480 volt option as well. Now there are 4 1/2-inch knockouts on all size. It also has that same hinge door housing. It also has the little level, and it can be mounted with or without a J-box. It also has some additional protection, 4 kV of surge protection, 0 to 10 volt dimming. It also is a power coated die cast aluminum housing, and it has a glass lens. I will have you take a look at the rest of those ambient temperature ratings. I won't bore you with that. And also we've got some DLC premium out there that's pending, IP65, 5-year warranty, and that pretty much handles that. So I've got one more poll question, and hopefully we are getting towards the end here. I didn't know I had this many slides to get through today. Okay, the TWP, the WFC1, and the CWP feature what? While you're looking at that, I've got a couple questions that came through. I don't see the PS120 on the website. Is it available? Let me write that down and I will find out for you. Or perhaps maybe Colin, if you could also answer that question. PS120 not on the website.
I see both on the Canadian and American website.
I'm sorry.
SWP1.
I'm thinking that's the one he's talking about. Yes, the SWP1.
I think so.
PS120. What is the standard distribution of the WFC1? Do you have the answer of that one as well? The distribution for the WFC1?
I'm looking at it right now. I'll have that in a second.
Okay. Keep an eye out on the chat there, guys. Colin is going to answer both of those questions for us. We're going to continue to move on while that's happening. Hey, guys, look at there. 94%. You guys all got that right for the most part, except for just 2 of you. But that's okay. All right, nice job. Yes, all of the above is the right answer. Good job. Okay, what do we have up next? Oh, the good stuff is just kind of high level. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. So first of all, July 12th, 13th, and 14th just passed. I just had training here last week, just didn't update the slide, but there's all kinds of training out on the website. If you have anything that you want to do here at the EiKO, just call me, just let me know. I am thinking about doing a lighting fundamentals class. So if you're interested in that, shoot me a quick note. Also, we are going to be doing, or you probably saw that we had an industrial lighting promo with some really awesome sale prices going on. We've actually decided to extend that through August 15th. So you'll probably see that on the website as well. After that, we'll probably start looking at maybe educational or some other market. So come August 15th, that'll be updated with some new products. Soon there will also be, actually today, I think it was launched, if I'm not mistaken, over the weekend, there is a legacy lighting little category now. So kind of keep that in mind. That is where, like, if you go in this little blank box right here, there'll be a little legacy category. That is where you're going to find all the legacy type products, which is always kind of cool to check out. If you guys want to, there's also an industrial sales flyer. If you want to have us do any special flyers for you, we are capable of doing that, and we can help you out with that. We've got a couple for our industrial sale that's going on through August 15th. Look us up if you're interested. We've also done a ton of updates to the website. I won't bore you with all of those, but we have a whole bunch of those that we have done. So you're going to continue to see updates and whatnot for that. If you try to get an account number on our website, you do need your customer number now so that you can log in and check out a bunch of great things on our website as well. And I think that pretty much will do it. That was a lot in an hour. So any questions before we depart? And Colin, do you have the answer for us on the SWP one before we leave?
Yeah, the SWP1 PS120 is on both the American and Canadian site.
And I'm having a really hard time hearing you, but what about the distribution on the WFC one?
Yeah, when I answer it, it goes away. So I answered it. It's the NEMA beam spread 7H times 6B.
Okay, got it. Yeah. All right, excellent. Well, if there's no more questions, guys, I want to thank you all, and I will get this out to you so you can share it if you want to. Thank you all for your time today. Appreciate it. Colin, was there anything else that we need to modify before I end the recording? Anything that was said incorrectly or needs to be addressed?
Nope. No, I didn't hear anything wrong.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, everybody. Take care.